Assalamu alaikum. This is Maumar Singh, welcoming you all to the English news from Btv Chattogram. Let's begin with the headlines. A youth-only alternative building entrepreneurial society from job-oriented one, says Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus. UN fact-finding report on 8 cities during July-August uprising to be released by mid-February, says UN High Commissioner for Human Rights. People's expectations may be jeopardized unless national election held quickly, says Btv Secretary General Major Fakhrul Islam Alamgir. $178 BDM members freed on bail after 16 years in jail in explosive case over BDR carnage at Pilkhana. US President Donald Trump promises to invest at least $600 billion in Saudi Arabia over the next 4 years. And Rangpur Riders suffered 24-run defeat against Durbar Rajshahi in BPL at Johor Ahmed Chaudhary Stadium in Chattogram. Viewers, those were the headlines. Now moving on to the details. Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus said, there is no alternative to the youths in building an entrepreneurial society from a work-oriented society. The Chief Advisor said this while participating in the plenary session of the ASEAN Summit in Davos, Switzerland at noon local time on Wednesday. In his speech, Professor Yunus emphasized on building on an entrepreneurial society by moving away from a job-oriented society.
Success of this ASEAN region group is guaranteed. It's only a question of how you design it so that you don't repeat the mistakes others have done. So there's a society which is equalitarian society, and we share the wealth and so on, continue, new concepts are followed, design things for young people to bring them to the front line so that they can create the new vision of their own countries. And as a region, they can move forward. This is creativity and entrepreneurship is built into the society. So we should not go away from that and follow this job-oriented society that we have to have a job and continue with the job. I think the whole thing will be entrepreneurship-oriented society. Social business funds can be created so that the funds can be available to the young people. The educational system can be redesigned so that this is not getting a degree to get a job, kind of the conventional way of thinking. We go to the university, we go to the educational institution to prepare ourselves to become entrepreneur, become creative person, which we are. Simply, we kind of sharpen the creativity. Education gives us the knowledge and gives us the opportunity to make sure we come out as an individual creative person and contribute to the society. It's not for personal gain all the time. It's personal gain is one part and the social gain. So each one growing up, not just one-dimensional person which pursue the life just for his or her own personal achievements. So it'll be something part for yourself and part for the community, society that you belong to, so that that society becomes better society after what you have done.
A UN High Commissioner for Human Rights Volker Turk has said the UN fact-finding report on the 8 cities during the July-August uprising is at final stage and would be released by mid-February. The UN High Commissioner made the comments when he called on Bangladesh Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus on the sidelines of the World Economic Forum annual meeting in the Swiss mountain city of Davos. Professor Yunus thanked the UN Rights Office for investigating the crimes committed during the student-led uprising. The Chief Advisor asked the UN Human Rights Chief for his support in resolving the Rohingya crisis. Professor Yunus called for creating an on-overseen safe zone inside Myanmar's Rakhine side in an effort to stop the fresh influx of Rohingyas. Volker Turk, assuring of his full support, said he was in conversation with relevant stakeholders, including UN Special Envoy of Myanmar, Julie Bishop, in this regard. Lamia Morshed, SDG coordinator of the Bangladesh government, and Tariq Ariful Islam, Bangladesh's permanent ambassador to Geneva, also attended the meeting. A FIFA president, Gianni Infantino, said he would like to visit Bangladesh in next 2 months and hope to fund the country's women's football. The FIFA chief made the comments when he called on Chief Advisor Professor Mohamed Yunus on the sidelines of the World Economic Forum annual meeting in the Swiss city of Davos. Infantino praised Yunus' ideas in making sports carbon neutral and said the FIFA would help develop soccer in the South Asian region. He added that FIFA would like to fund women's football in Bangladesh after the chief advisor sought his support to build facilities such as dormitories and other infrastructures for Bangladeshi women footballers. Infantino said FIFA would also help women's football in Saudi Arabia and added that the Bangladeshi diaspora in the kingdom will also benefit from the FIFA move. The Chief Advisor Press Secretary Shafiqul Alam said the main objective of Bangladesh's participation in the World Economic Forum's annual meeting is to increase foreign investment in the country. The press secretary said this in an exclusive interview with Btv News in Davos. Investors are being informed that Bangladesh is now a suitable investment and environment, he added.
Davos-এর একটা খুব বিউটিফুল জিনিস হচ্ছে যে এখানে প্রচুর প্রাইভেট সেক্টরের এমডিরা আসেন, সিইওরা আসেন এবং তাদের সাথে অনেক গভর্নমেন্টের যে লিডারদের একটা ইন্টারাকশন হয়, অনেক মিনিস্টারের সাথে ইন্টারাকশন হয়। এই এমডিদের সাথে অনেক সময় এমনও হয় যে ড্যাভোসের যে রুমগুলো ছোট ছোট রুমে এই খুব ইম্পর্টেন্ট আলাপ হয়, অনেক ধরনের ডিল মেড হয়। এই 2 দিনে প্রচুর হেড অফ গভর্নমেন্টের সাথে প্রফেসর ইউনূসের প্রায় 10টার মতো হেড অফ গভর্নমেন্টের সাথে কথাবার্তা হয়েছে বা হেড অফ স্টেটের সাথে। মূলত থাকবে হচ্ছে প্রাইভেট সেক্টর। আপনি বেশ কিছু বড় বড় কোম্পানি যারা বাংলাদেশে ইনভেস্ট করতে চায় তাদের সিইওরা প্রফেসর ইউনূসের সাথে দেখা করবেন এবং এটা নিয়ে তারা বাংলাদেশ সম্পর্কে জানতে চাবেন, বাংলাদেশের বিজনেস অপরচুনিটি কি আছে সেটা নিয়ে জানতে চাবেন। আমাদের তরফ থেকে তো বারবার আমরা বলছি যে বাংলাদেশ এখন নাও রেডি ফর বিজনেসের সেই ক্লাইমেটটা তৈরি হয়েছে। বিজনেস করার যে কন্ডিশনগুলো সেগুলো যতটা সহজ করা যায় সেগুলো সহজ করা হচ্ছে। চিটাং পোর্টের সক্ষমতা বাড়ানো হয়েছে এবং প্রফেসর ইউনূস বারবার বিভিন্ন দেশের উনি ইউএসের, জার্মান, তার্কিশ, চাইনিজ এদের ইনভেস্টরকে ইনভাইট করছেন বাংলাদেশে এসে ইনভেস্ট করার জন্য। মূল মেসেজটা হচ্ছে যে বাংলাদেশ এখন তাদের জন্য প্রস্তুত এবং বাংলাদেশকে এই যে ইয়াং যে পপুলেশন তাদেরকে দিয়ে তারা বাংলাদেশ ক্যান ইজিলি বি অ্যানাদার এক্সপোর্ট হাব। তো আশা করছি যে এটার থেকে ভালো কিছু আমরা রেজাল্ট পাবো।
BNP Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir said expectations of people may be jeopardized if the national election is not held quickly. He said this at a discussion at the Jatiya Press Club today, marking the 56th martyrdom anniversary of Assad, the hero of 1969 mass uprising. Shahid Assad family organized it. Shahid Assad family President Dr. Mahbubullah presided over the discussion. BNP chairperson's advisors Amanullah Aman and Johiruddin Shopon, BNP's Joint Secretary General Khairul Kabir Khokon, Ganashanghati Andolon's Chief Coordinator Junaid Saki, Shahid Assad family advisor Dr. Ajizullah M. Nurujjaman Nur also spoke. BNP Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul has demanded election by carrying out minimal reforms to restore voting rights of people and freedom of speech for building Bangladesh free from injustice and corruption. 178 members of Bangladesh Rifles BDR has freed on bail after 16 years in jails in an explosive case over the BDR carnage at Dhaka's Pilkhana. the prisoners freed from Dhaka Central Jail in Karanganj and Kashimpur Central Jail in Gazipur today. Earlier on Sunday, Judge of Dhaka Special Tribunal 1 Mohammad Ibrahimia granted the bail to the BDM members in the explosive case. The court was set up temporarily inside the Dhaka Central Jail. On Tuesday, the jail authorities disclosed the list of the convicts who secured bail. The necessary documents for the bail were sent to both jails on Wednesday. After completing legal procedures, the Dhaka Central Jail and Kashimpur Central Jail Authority released 178 prisoners. Relatives of the freed BDM members received them with flowers and feeding them sweetmeats at the jail gates. Many were seen breaking down in tears after meeting their dear and near one. On February 25 and 26 in 2009, 74 people, including 57 army officers, were killed at the Border Guard headquarters in Pilkhana. A Chief of Army Staff General Wakarujaman was adorned with the 17th Colonel of the Regiment of the traditional East Bengal Regiment with befitting military status at the Shahid Amar Chaudhuri Parade Ground of the East Bengal Regimental Center in city's cantonment. The head of the army has been ceremoniously given the title and responsibilities of Colonel of the Regiment, which is a prestigious military position signifying leadership and guardianship over a specific regiment within the army. Earlier, on his arrival at the parade ground, the army chief was provided a guard of honor as part of the traditional military custom. After this, Army Chief was adorned with the Colonel rank badge of the East Bengal Regiment by the Senior Commanding Officer and the Senior Master Warrant Officer of the East Bengal Regiment. Later, he visited Quarter Guard of EBRC and planted a sapling at the Sritikanan premises there. At this time, the Army Chief gave his directive speech on the occasion, set the release of the Directorate of Inter-Services Public Relations this evening. After the ceremony, the Army Chief delivered a welcome speech at the 37th Annual Captains Conference of the East Bengal Regiment and discussed the development of this regiment, increasing professional skills and activities conducted at home and abroad. He also asked all the members of the regiment to be ready to face the challenges of 21st century through modern training. A senior officer of the Army Headquarters, Army Training and Doctrine Command Local Formation and East Bengal Regiment and media personalities, among others, attended the event. And now, international news. Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman told President Trump that the kingdom intends to increase its investment and trade with the United States by at least $600 billion over the next 4 years. The Crown Prince, the de facto leader of Saudi Arabia, told Mr. Trump that his new administration had the ability to create unprecedented economic prosperity in the United States and that the kingdom wanted to participate, a statement from the Saudi press agency said. Trump has promised to accelerate investment in the United States, particularly to help revive manufacturing. Saudi Arabia was Mr. Trump's first stop on his first overseas trip as president in 2017. A reflection of the importance he put on his relationship with the Crown Prince during that term, the United States pursued major deals with the kingdom, including arms sales. Jared Kushner, Mr. Trump's son-in-law, also secured a $2 billion investment from a Saudi government fund for his private equity firm 6 months after Mr. Trump left the White House in 2021. Trump told reporters in the Oval Office on Monday that Saudi Arabia was his first foreign stop during his previous term because they agreed to buy $450 billion worth of our product. Israel's deadly raid in Jenin has entered its its third day, with its forces also increasingly targeting Palestinians across the occupied West Bank. 2 Palestinian men were killed overnight in attacks by Israeli forces in Bushin, taking the death toll to 12 across Jenin Governorate in the first 2 days of large-scale raids. The raids are part of Israel's Iron Wall campaign across the Palestinian-occupied territory, launched just days after a ceasefire in Gaza. Palestinian news network Al-Quds today reported Mahmoud Abu al-Assad and Qutayba al-Shalabi were killed in an armed clash with the occupation forces that lasted for several hours. The Israeli military confirmed the killing on Thursday, claiming that the two were affiliated with the Palestinian Islamic Jihad and were wanted for carrying out the shooting attacks in the village on Fanduk in the Kalkalia Governorate earlier this month, which killed 3 Israelis and injured 6. Palestinian General Authority of Civil Affairs said Israeli forces have refused to release their bodies. Palestinian news agency WAFA reported that Israeli forces involved in the killing surrounded a house in Bushin and fired shots and missiles at it before razing it to the ground using a bulldozer. Now back to national news. The Secretary to the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, Mahbooba Farjana, visited the Modernization and Digital Broadcasting Equipment Installation Project of Bangladesh Btv Chattogram Center today. A project director, Asifur Rahman, presented detailed information on the progress of the project work and overall issues during her visit to the project area adjacent to the Betar Bhavan at Agrabad in the city. Joint Secretary to the Ministry, Riyasat Al-Wasif, Director General of Bangladesh Btv, ASM Jahid, Chief Engineer Munir Ahmed, Superintendent Engineer of the Public Works Department, Mohammad Asif Imruj, Bangladesh Btv Chattogram Center Director, Mohammad Mahfuzul Haq, Senior Engineer Shubrata Kumar Dash, Regional Controller of News Mullah Muhammad Abdul Halim, all the official and staffs of the center, along with the concerned ones, were present on the occasion. Now, sports news. Rangpur Riders' 8-match winning streak in the Bangladesh Premier League finally came to an end when they tested a 24-run defeat to Durbar Rajshahi at the Johor Ahmed Cricket Stadium. Nurul Hussain Shohan-led side was bowled out for 146 in 19.2 overs after Rajshahi put up 170 for 9, thanks to a blistering 32-ball 60 from Yasir Ali Chaudhary. Saif Hassan and skipper Sohan were the only two to make some resistance amid a disciplined bowling effort of Rajshahi led by its captain Taskin Ahmed. Rangpur made a disastrous start, being reduced to 15 for 3 after losing the likes of Stephen Taylor, Irfan Shukur and Iftikhar Ahmed, all for single-digit figure. The crisis further deepened when Sabir Hussain got the better of an in-form Kushdil Shah for 14. Saif Hussain, who kept the runs flowing amid the wickets tumbling, was dismissed by Shafil Islam after making team-high 29-ball 43 with 5 fours and 2 sixes. Burl Tuscan cleaned up the tail to end Rangpur's winning run and gave the side 4th victory in 10 matches. The 3-day-long first UCB Golf Tournament has been begun at Shane Golf and Country Club in Patinga of the city. Chief of Air Staff and Chief Patron of Shane Golf and Country Club Air Chief Marshal Hassan Mahmud Khan inaugurated it. Senior Air Force officials, United Commercial Bank Managing Director and CEO Mohammadur Rashid and other concerned were present at the event. 220 golfers from various golf clubs across the country are participating in the tournament. Closing and prize distribution ceremony will be held tomorrow at the same venue.